Every business in the world would dream to be as important to a country's culture as McDonald's Singapore has achieved. We all love our hawker food and favourite restaurants, but no other place shows up in as many moments of a Singaporean's life as McDonald's. Whether it is your childhood, when you're studying with friends, when you're having breakfast or supper with loved ones, when you're coming home from national service, and some even for their weddings. Yet, McDonald's is not the only American fast food chain in town. There's your usual suspects, KFC, Pizza Hut, and A&W. These other American chains don't even come close to permeating Singapore culture as McDonald's did. They stayed as fast food joints, while McDonald's transcended to be a part of Singaporean tradition. Why is that so? In this video, we will cover 3 things. Number 1, we will explore the fascinating journey of how an American fast food chain feels more Singaporean than American. Number 2, break down the brilliant business model that makes McDonald's one of the world's most successful companies. Number 3, uncover how these same powerful business principles can be found in Singapore companies today. Before I begin, welcome to What Makes a Country. I'm Ken Chong, your host, and on this channel, we uncover the hidden architecture behind successful countries. Our focus is on the policies, institutions, and businesses that create lasting, thriving societies. McDonald's first landed in Singapore in 1979, opening its first outlet at Liat Towers in Singapore Orchard Road, where Shake Shack is today. It started with just 5 items on the menu. The concept of American fast food was already introduced to Singapore by A&W in 1968 and KFC in 1977. So McDonald's had to play catch-up in order to spread awareness of its brand because it didn't have first mover advantage. How do you get a nation that loves food as Singapore does and has a variety of cuisines at its fingertips, obsessed with just one fast food joint? The genius lies in McDonald's 3 strategic moves. The first move is that it made children go, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to eat at McDonald's today." By introducing playgrounds on premises and having toys with Happy Meal, it became a comfort food wonderland for kids. In fact, I don't have to remind Singaporeans about the craze for Hello Kitty plushes that McDonald's kicked off.
The latest crush for the pair of toys saw 6 people being arrested, 3 for rioting and the rest for disorderly behaviour after fights broke out at several McDonald's outlets overnight.
I remember long queues of people queuing up just to buy these creatures every week at McDonald's.
It wasn't just a craze, it was a full-blown national phenomenon. But it didn't just stop at delicious fast food and addictive toys. McDonald's wanted to be a part of a child's most cherished memories, in this case, their birthdays. Kids could celebrate their special day with fun and games. The birthday package comes with cards, gift boxes and toys, and discount coupons for future trips to McDonald's, all within a reasonable price range to be as inclusive as possible. As a result of going family-friendly, McDonald's has now become one of the largest developers of playgrounds and toy distributors in the world. So by winning the hearts of children, McDonald's let everyone know that it wasn't just a place for teens and adults. It's a place for the whole family to eat together. Now that they won over the kids, how do they win over the adults? Which brings us to McDonald's second move. If you ask a bunch of Singaporeans, what's the first thing that they want to eat when they're returning home from overseas? There will surely be a number of them that says McSpicy. Singaporeans love our McSpicy so much. We even created a McSpicy museum. McDonald's Singapore worked hard to create dishes that are additive to our local taste buds. Arguably, their most successful creation is the McSpicy, a dish that's seen in the McDonald's menu in many parts of the world. But what most people don't know is that it was invented right here in Singapore. This is a fact so little known that even the current McDonald's CEO thought it was born in Thailand.
Favorite global menu item?
I do really like the McSpicy. It's in a number of markets. It started in Thailand.
When in actual fact, it was invented in Singapore to compete with the Zinger burger that KFC had just introduced. Singaporeans absolutely love it. McSpicy is today one of our local cult favorites. But it didn't just stop there. McDonald's proceeded to invent sauces so delicious that it caused civil unrest. In 2008, McDonald's switched from its famous garlic chili sauce to a regular sweet chili version, causing citizens to set up over 14 Facebook groups to protest. McDonald's swiftly reintroduced it. In 2011, McDonald's unexpectedly ran out of curry sauce. Hordes of complaints flooded its social media accounts. To the nation's relief, McDonald's Singapore announced that it had run into supply chain issues and reintroduced it a week later. The chain, now aware of its significance to Singaporeans, subsequently in 2019 released a limited edition bottle which sold out within a week. In recent years, Singapore McDonald's went even further to create Singapore-inspired flavours. It introduced popular hits like the Prosperity Burger, Nasi Lemak Burger, Seaweed Shaker Fries, and Twister Fries. We genuinely need to applaud the chain for the sheer number of novelty items it has introduced over the years. Their seasonal menus keep Singaporeans on their toes, excited to try out new flavours. This has cemented McDonald's as the representative of Singapore fast food. Now let's move on to the third move. Now that McDonald's has got the kids and adults hooked, craving McDonald's 24/7, but they were only open for breakfast and dinner, meaning there was a whole 8 hours that people wouldn't be able to satisfy their McDonald's fix. To top it off, Singaporeans love our supper. It is the reason why places like Simpang Bedok, which offers prata, mee goreng, and a whole bunch of local options, and Swee Choon, which sells dim sum, had their claim to fame. There's something about a late night meal that is just so sinful and delicious. McDonald's Singapore capitalized on this and became the first to offer McDelivery 24/7 in 2005 and turns out their chains 24/7 too. This is way before the delivery apps like GrabFood, Deliveroo, and Foodpanda. The only other chain which was delivering was Pizza Hut, but they did not do 24/7 delivery. It was a really bold move at that time, something that no other McDonald's in the world was yet willing to do. McDonald's was always plagued by the idea that no one would want soggy fries anyway, which was unavoidable because of delivery. But Singaporeans proved that this was not a factor, as McDelivery took off. This solidified McDonald's advantage over other fast food chains and made it a permanent fixture in the Singaporean supper menu. The success speaks for itself. Since the introduction of McDonald's delivery in 2005, McDonald's Singapore has experienced double-digit growth over the next 18 years. And this experiment was what led McDonald's to adopt delivery worldwide subsequently. So by winning over our kids, our local taste buds, and our 24/7 love for food, McDonald's secured a spot in the hearts of all Singaporeans. But how could they have done everything so right? The answer lies in something most people don't realize about McDonald's. They invented the entire concept of fast food. Yes, believe it or not, there was a time before fast food where every food establishment was just like your regular restaurant, which takes around like 30 minutes to serve you your food. So how did McDonald's invent fast food? By creating a food preparation system so revolutionary that is used in many single fast food chains in existence today. To understand what that system is, let's go back to 1940, San Bernardino, California. McDonald's was still run by the McDonald brothers. Sales was booming, with 15 menu items selling ribs, beef, pork sandwiches. It was a drive-in. You park your car, and a car hop, which were like waitresses, sometimes even wearing roller skates, will serve you food. Customers had a waiting time of 30 minutes easily. The increasing seediness of drive-in restaurants as a teenage mecca drove away families.
They attracted teens and joyriders looking for a place to spend an evening.
Customers were more keen to check out the female car hops than the food itself. Utensils were being stolen. By 1948, the McDonald brothers had enough. They decided to shut down what is the most successful drive-in restaurant in their locale. People around them were calling them insane. They reopened a year later with 3 drastic changes. The first was that the McDonald's brothers realized something that others didn't, that the bulk of their sales, 80%, was in hamburger, fries, and milkshake. So they drastically simplified their menu to just 3 items. Most restaurants would think that a more extensive menu appeals to more people, equating to more sales. But why keep inventory of other items which are not selling as well? You typically compromise on quality. This huge change helped slash the prices of their hamburgers by half. The second change was that it became a fully self-serve restaurant. No car hops at all. People were furious. There was no such thing as a restaurant without waitresses. People drove up to the restaurant and honked at the brothers, waiting to be served. But the McDonald brothers were insistent. They believed that the speed of how quickly the customers got their meal will make this change worth it for them. Which brings us to the third and most revolutionary change, the introduction of the speedy system. Other restaurants were typically messy and haphazard. You have just one person running the grill while trying to fry your fries. But the McDonald brothers wouldn't stand for that. They wanted a kitchen like a factory assembly line. Each worker was to have only one job. One person grilled, one person wrapped, and one person prepared the shakes. Orders came out in 30 seconds, not 30 minutes. The burgers and fries delivered to you were still piping hot. This was also why all the food was served in disposable packaging. To further streamline the process, they even invented the saucing machine to dispense just the right amount of sauce that your burger needed. It now all seems obvious, but no one else was doing this at that point. Customers were hooked. Queues started piling up. The origins of McDonald's itself was groundbreaking. The very concept of fast food. Most people think that the genius ends there, that you create a restaurant that consistently produces delicious food in just one chain alone, and that's it. But this is where they're mistaken. The real genius is being able to replicate the very same delicious food that you can find in one restaurant across tens of thousands of restaurants worldwide. Think about your favorite restaurant, and when they open a second outlet, was the standard the same? Typically not. It's not from a lack of trying, it's just incredibly hard. Yet you can walk into any McDonald's around the world, whether it's New York, Shanghai, or Singapore, and get more or less the same quality of food. That to me is completely mind-blowing, and it's one of the reasons why Singaporeans love McDonald's so much. So how did McDonald's do what no other restaurant has successfully done before? Create tens of thousands of restaurants that have consistent quality. The genius lies in one man, Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc was a multi-mixer salesman when he first discovered McDonald's in 1954. Multi-mixers helped to speed up the preparation of drinks, but no one in the F&B business needed more than one or two in their store. Out of nowhere, he got an order for 10 multi-mixers. Kroc was shocked and had to investigate what establishment needed this many mixers. He arrived at a place called McDonald's and was completely blown away by what he saw. A business so bustling that it needed to prepare 50 milkshakes at a time. Long queues of people that were moving fast since they could get their orders in 30 seconds. He was so excited by what he witnessed that he immediately signed a master franchisee contract with the McDonald brothers. That was the very beginning of the empire of McDonald's that we know today. But to scale the system that the McDonald's brothers had built was an even more difficult task. Even standardizing the menu across different outlets was a huge pain, but it needed to be done. Ray Kroc wouldn't have it any other way. He wanted to provide the same mind-blowing experience he had at the original McDonald's to every customer at every single outlet. Let's take the McDonald's French fries for instance. It was the best fry Ray Kroc ever tasted. He meticulously took down the recipe and made sure that the preparations was a ritual to be followed religiously in every outlet. But despite all of Kroc's efforts, the delicious fries couldn't be replicated in any other outlet. But how could that be? They were using the same potatoes, the same preparation methods. He was desperate to find out why. After thorough investigation, he realized that the answer was that the McDonald's brothers had been unintentionally curing their potatoes first. By storing their potatoes for 3 weeks before use, the sugars of the potatoes were converted into starches within that time. Without doing this, the French fries would look golden brown on the outside before they are fully cooked on the inside. Kroc had to set up an entire system to monitor the changes in the potatoes. On top of that, fries didn't cook evenly across stores, often due to the preparation and the skill of the chef. To standardize the cooking process, Kroc even set up a French fry lab to investigate. Temperatures had to be monitored precisely to ensure that the fries were cooked to perfection. An automated control was implemented for all stores. The importance of standardization for every outlet was so crucial that McDonald's kickstarted a frozen food revolution when there wasn't really demand for it before. All because when the opportunity came, McDonald's adopted frozen fries. This was when most people in the industry thought that frozen products were simply inferior. McDonald's thoroughly tested the product to make sure that the frozen fries was as good as the original. And this is just a teaser of all the changes that they had to tussle with to deliver the same delicious French fries across every single outlet. The sheer level of scrutiny on every ingredient gave McDonald's the ability to deliver food quality consistently better than any other stores. And it is for this reason that we take for granted the idea that we go to any McDonald's across the world and basically get the same French fries. Now that McDonald's could replicate the same delicious food in every outlet, it gave any franchise owner a fighting chance to win fast food in any new location. But with each state in the US wildly different from each other, that meant that each outlet will have customers with varying taste buds. That's when the creativity of every individual outlet operator came in. Think about the Big Mac, Filet-O-Fish, and the Egg McMuffin. Believe it or not, they weren't actually created by the original McDonald's brothers, but by individual McDonald's franchisees. Just like your McSpicy. The Filet-O-Fish was invented in a McDonald's outlet in Cincinnati when the Catholic population clamored for a meatless sandwich that they could eat on Friday. The Big Mac was invented by an outlet in Pittsburgh as laborers from the surrounding steel mills complained that a single burger wasn't enough to satisfy their appetite. The Egg McMuffin came about in an outlet in Santa Barbara because operators felt that the restaurant opened at 10 a.m. but the crowd only came in at noon. It was this balance between standardization and creativity that gave birth to the McSpicy. And the system that McDonald's created was what made it so consistent in the Singapore chains across the island. Beyond the food menu, individual operators were given freedom to determine how it will market itself to the local population. McDonald's was the first ever fast food chain to run advertisement on the radio or on the TV.
Ronald McDonald! Now where is that clown? Oh, Ronald! Hey, Ronald!
Here I am, kid. Hey, isn't watching TV fun? Especially when you got delicious McDonald's hamburgers.
Ronald, you can't be on TV and watch it at the same time.
This is radical, because most restaurants back then only advertised in newspapers. People found the idea of advertising a cheap hamburger stand absolutely absurd, much less on radio or on TV, but to McDonald's it made sense. They were selling an entirely new concept of eating out. Newspaper ads wouldn't do justice. And this was all initiated by, again, a franchisee, Jim Zien, and not some top-down mandate. He persuaded other franchisees to put about 3% of their sales into an advertising fund. It was also Zien that realized the importance of marketing to children. Many adults initially resisted McDonald's because its cheap price made it unglamorous. But advertising to children put in the adults too. Zien realized that if the kids asked to go to McDonald's, the old man was gonna say okay, because the food was so cheap. What Zien pioneered worked so well that many other operators joined in. This is at the root of how playgrounds and children birthday parties were introduced at McDonald's worldwide, including Singapore. In McDonald's Hong Kong in the early 2000s, since most of the population live in relatively small flats, birthday parties were rarely held at home. Except for the outlets in the central business district, McDonald's restaurants are packed every Saturday and Sunday with birthday parties, to the point that they went through one every hour. At the very core, McDonald's found a perfect way to achieve the perfect balance between top-down control in terms of food quality and standards, and bottom-up creativity in new menu options and marketing creativity. When you think about the sheer number of innovative breakthroughs McDonald's achieved, it is to no one's surprise that it dominated the world with over 40,000 outlets, making it the most successful fast food chain worldwide. Its global system-wide sales grows over $130 billion in 2024, about 4 times as much as what KFC achieved at $35 billion or Burger King at $29 billion. It cannot be left unmentioned that another key reason why McDonald's dominated in the way that it did was because it had the foresight to also build up an extensive real estate empire.
You're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business.
To some people, McDonald's is more of a real estate company than a fast food company, and they wouldn't be entirely wrong in their judgments. It is, after all, one of the world's largest real estate owner. But if we went deep here, the video will be over 2 hours long, so I'll spare you the details for now. A lot of people hear these awe-inspiring business principles and strategies and think, oh, why can't we find this kind of things in Singapore? Well, I argue that we can. Just take a look at the Singaporean company iJuice. I'm sure you've seen some of their vending machines around the island. The machine will squeeze 4 oranges for you into a cup of orange juice for just $2 to $3. When I first saw it, I was completely blown away. Do you know that they now have over 2,500 machines across 32 countries such as Japan, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and even Bahrain? Oranges have an international taste and will find lovers everywhere it goes. And it's the reason that iJuice is expanding so fast. In 2020, it had only 1,000 vending machines and is adding around 100 machines per month in Singapore alone. In Japan, the internet is full of raving reviews of its orange juice. The fruits in Japan are typically so expensive, they can't bear to turn it into juice. This is why there are often snaking queues of people in front of iJuice machines, and why Japan operates almost 50% of all iJuice machines worldwide. The potential of its market is massive. Most people don't think about this, but Japan's GDP is roughly the size of the entire ASEAN region combined. Yes, you heard that right. There's 10 countries, which includes Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam, Brunei, Cambodia, and Laos. Wow, that's a real mouthful. But what really powers the whole iJuice business is how it sources its oranges. iJuice has to find oranges that meet its standards from all over the world. Depending on the time of the year, even down to specific weeks, an orange from a specific country may be too sour for the machine. This is why it has to source oranges from a number of countries. That includes Australia, Egypt, South Africa, Turkey, and the US. Similar to the McDonald's French fries, iJuice is experimenting to find the right balance in the variety of oranges it sources to deliver the perfect orange juice for its customers. Apart from taste, the price of orange juice fluctuates a lot with the climate. From early 2021 to late 2024, the price of orange juice increased 5-fold. In fact, frozen orange juice is even traded as a commodity and actually has a ticker. iJuice has started to collaborate with franchisees across the world to bring its machines everywhere. I've heard that franchisees provide the land and electricity costs and get a percentage of the total sales of each machine as profits. In Japan, the top locations bring in 1 million yen per month in sales. That's close to 9,000 Singapore dollars. It sure looks like an exciting future ahead for iJuice. It is looking to go public in the US soon. So the next time you bite into a McSpicy or tap on the McDelivery app at 2 AM, just remember, this isn't just a fast food chain anymore. It's the result of decades of business foresight, strategic localization, and uncanny cultural instincts. McDonald didn't just succeed in Singapore by chance. It earned its place through relentless reinvention and an almost obsessive commitment to relevance. And in doing so, it pulled off something that every brand dreams of, but so few achieve, becoming not just a restaurant, but a ritual. And the next time you see an iJuice machine on your morning commute, or hear of a homegrown brand going global, remember this too. Singaporeans have taken these same business lessons and built businesses of our own. And who knows, the next big global obsession might just come from your neighborhood. I hope this inspires you just as much as it inspires me. Thank you for watching. I'm Kian Chong, your host of What Makes a Country, and see you in the next video.